Hello friends, I am Dr. Devashish Palkar, MD Psychiatrist, and I shall be teaching Psychiatry for Nextilo. Today, let us play a Psychiatry T20 match. I have a list of 20 most important MCQs from Psychiatry. Let us learn to solve them. So, come along, let us play this Psychiatry T20 match. So, here comes the first question. A patient is mute and immobile but conscious. He is unresponsive to the environment. He is known to be in a state of dash. Now here, the examiner wants us to know about the consciousness. Do we know the levels of consciousness or not? Now the levels of consciousness basically is, first is a state of total awareness, or when this person is awake, fully awake, he is conscious, he is aware about his environment. Then the stage comes is lethargy, wherein the person is drifting off in sleep and he has to be awakened from sleep. The third stage is stupor, wherein the person is conscious, he is not responsive to the environment, and if he is given a vigorous stimuli, there will be slight groaning or moaning kind of a voice which the patient would emit, but there will be no active movements. And last stage is known as coma, wherein the person has his eyes closed, is not responsive to the environment, he is not conscious. He will not be awakened even with the help of vigorous stimuli. Not even groaning or moaning will be possible. So let us look at this question again. This patient is mute and immobile but conscious and unresponsive to the environment. So everything is given in the question itself. So the correct answer here is stupor. Okay, stupor is mute plus akinetic. Okay, the state of awake is when you are fully alert plus oriented. Lethargy is when the person is drifting to sleep. And coma is eyes closed, not responsive at all. Okay, so this is the first question. Patient is mute, immobile, but conscious, is unresponsive to the environment, is known to be a state of stupor, is the correct answer. Let us look at the second question. A perception that occurs when a sensory stimulus is present but is incorrectly perceived and misinterpreted is known as. Now this is a very straightforward definition kind of a question. You need to know the definition of all the options that are given here. So is it a hallucination? What is hallucination? Hallucination is basically a perception which occurs in the absence of stimuli. In absence of stimuli. Now here, what is the question given? A perception that occurs when a sensory stimulus is present. So when a sensory stimulus is present, so definitely this is not a hallucination that we are talking about. What is illusion? Illusion is a disorder of perception which occurs when stimuli is incorrectly perceived or misinterpreted. Incorrectly perceived / misinterpreted. For example, it's a dark day, it's raining heavily, the time is around 11 p.m. I am walking alone on this dark, fateful night. It's raining heavily. On the roads, there is no one. There are just some dogs howling in the background, and I am very fearful. Then I just walk along and I see a rope on the road, and I am terrified that it's a snake. But on a closer look, I am reassured that it's not moving. Maybe it's something else. I go closer and I see it's a rope. So seeing rope as a snake is an illusion. When there is nothing there and you still see a snake, there is a visual hallucination. For example, in my left hand, I am wearing a wristwatch. If instead of your wristwatch, someone perceives it to be a time bomb, then that will be an illusion. But if I'm not wearing anything on my wrist and you're still able to see a wristwatch here, then that is a hallucination. There is no stimuli present and still you are able to perceive something. Here, in case of illusion, a stimuli is present but it is being misinterpreted. Okay? So, the answer for this question is illusion. A sensory stimuli is present but incorrectly perceived and misinterpreted. Now, what is delusion? Delusion is related to what? It is a content of thought delusion, content of thought disorder. Content of thought disorder. And what is delusion? Basically, a false, fixed, firm, unshakable belief that is not in keeping with a person's social, occupational, educational background, and that cannot be corrected by reasoning. Okay, so that is the definition of a delusion. Okay, and delirium is an altered state of consciousness wherein there is decreased attention and awareness to the surrounding. Okay, in delirium there is decreased attention and decreased awareness to the surrounding. Okay, so this is how we have solved second MCQ. Let us look at the third MCQ. A patient complains of tingling sensation when flashed with lights. What is this phenomena known as? Is it pseudo hallucination? Is it functional hallucination? Is it reflex hallucination? Is it panoramic hallucination? The examiner here wants us to know the special types of hallucinations. Okay, very important topic. Special hallucinations. Let us look at it. So what are the special hallucinations? The first is reflex hallucination. Now in reflex hallucination, what happens is there is stimuli in one modality and it is perceived in another modality. This is reflex hallucination. Okay, so the perception is in a different modality and the stimulus is in a different modality. Now what will be functional hallucination? In case of functional hallucination, stimuli and the perception, which is the hallucination, perception, which is hallucination, are in same modality and perceived simultaneously. To give you an example, in case of reflex hallucination, it is seen in LSD, lysergic acid diethylamide, which is a substance of abuse. Here, there is a specific term that is used as synesthesia. The person feels as if the colors are talking, as if he can see the music. Okay, see the music, hear the colors. Now here colors are actually in visual modality, but the hallucination is being perceived through auditory modality. The music is actually supposed to be an auditory stimulus, but it is being seen, so it's a visual stimuli. So it's a visual hallucination. So in this case also, if you look at it, a patient complains of tingling sensation when flashed with lights. So lights is supposed to be in the visual modality, and tingling sensation, it is perceived as tactile or skin related sensation. So both are different modalities, and the answer is reflex hallucination. What is pseudo hallucination? Pseudo hallucination is something that is similar to hallucination, but it occurs in inner subjective space. Inner subjective space, and the person has some insight. Person has some insight into it, and may have partial control as well. So this is about pseudo hallucination. Panoramic hallucination is a kind of visual hallucination wherein you see an entire scene rather than a particular person or a particular thing. You're able to see an entire scene in a panorama, as if, for example, a war sequence is going on in front of my eyes. It's a visual hallucination of a war sequence, and I'm able to see the entire sequence of armies in a panoramic view. So that would be a panoramic hallucination. Okay. Coming to next question. A 45-year-old man has a fight with his colleague at workplace. The next day, he feels that his colleague has hired goons and plans to kill him. Others in the office tried to reassure him, but he could not be pacified. Now, what is this? Obviously, from the question itself, we can understand that it is delusion. Why? Because it's a false, firm, fixed belief that a person has, and even the other colleagues, they have tried to pacify him, tried to reassure him, still he is not convinced. Alright? So it is a delusion. Now, what kind of a delusion it is? The next day, he feels that his colleagues has hired goons and plans to kill him. Whenever something that threatens the life of the individual, his family members, and even close to him, or his property, then it is known as delusion of persecution. Okay? So correct answer here is delusion of persecution. In grandiosity, the person feels that he is powerful. Okay? He has special knowledge or skill set. Knowledge or skill set, or special acquaintance or special role. A man living in rural Gujarat village tells that मैं Obama का बाप हूँ. So that is delusion of grandiosity. A man coming to psychiatry OPD says मैं कल्कि का अवतार हूँ. That is grandiosity. A man coming to psychiatry OPD says इस दुनिया में सारे पाप को मिटाने के लिए मेरा जन्म हुआ है. Special powers मुझे मिले हैं, एक special role assign किया गया है. That is delusion of grandiosity. What will be delusion of jealousy? Delusion of jealousy, also known as Othello syndrome. It is seen very commonly in patients of alcohol use disorder who have issues of feeling that their spouse is cheating on them, and it reaches to a delusional level. This is a belief that is held with very conviction, and even despite giving contrary evidence, the patient is not convinced. So this is delusion of jealousy, that your spouse is cheating on someone else. Then there is delusion of reference, in which the person comes to a belief that everything that is happening around him is with reference to him. He is at the center of all conversations. For example, a man walking on the street sees two other people who are chatting amongst themselves. He becomes fearful immediately because he believes that they are discussing about him. They are talking about him. That is known as delusion of reference. Okay. Next question. An 18-year-old boy presented with a belief that his penis is retracting in abdomen and he will soon die. What is this condition? Now, though this appears like a very delusional thing, but actually it is a form of culture-bound syndrome. Okay. So culture-bound syndromes are syndromes which are specific to particular cultures, and in that culture, many people have this kind of wrong beliefs. The only way these culture-bound syndromes can be treated is through proper psychoeducation, that is explaining to them the anatomy, the physiology, and how things function. And in case of this syndrome, This is known as Coro syndrome, wherein the person has a wrong belief that his penis is retracting into the abdomen, getting smaller in size, and one day when the penis will go into the abdominal cavity, he will die. So this is Coro syndrome. Lata syndrome is a startle syndrome wherein mostly seen in females. It is seen in Indonesia and other cultures. In this, the females suddenly become startled with minor or smaller stimuli, and then there are various responses like they become disinhibited, start shouting violently, or hurl sexually inappropriate abuses. So that is Lata syndrome. That syndrome, very common to India, described by a famous psychiatrist of India, Dr. N.N. Weekser. In that syndrome, the person has a belief that semen is coming out of his penis, and each drop of semen is very costly for him on his body, is very precious to his body, and because of the semen that is falling during the urination or during defecation or at night time, he is experiencing severe weakness and lethargy and other depressive symptoms. That is that syndrome. And what we discussed here is Coro syndrome. Then what is Munchausen syndrome? Munchausen syndrome is not a culture-bound syndrome. It is in fact a syndrome wherein a person assumes the role of a patient. He becomes a professional patient. It is seen in factitious disorder, wherein the person is faking illnesses consciously without any apparent external motive or goal. If there is an apparent external motive or a goal and the person is feigning symptoms, then it becomes malingering. If there is no apparent goal involved, then it becomes factitious disorder. The other name for it is Munchausen syndrome. Okay? Consciously making symptoms with goal, that is malingering. Now what can be the goal? For example, a prisoner who is in jail for a long time, now he starts feeling that he is having a deep pain in abdomen. Now because of that, what will the jail authorities do? They will initially give him medicines, but he will not get better. So they will bring him to a nearby civil hospital from where the person may try to escape, or where the person will be in a good care. He will get a good bed to sleep on, he will get good diet, he will be attended by other members like servants, nurses, etc. etc. So that could be a gain for him. Okay, and without a goal, if it is there, then it becomes a factitious disorder. Okay. Let us go forward. A patient voluntarily gets himself in this posture. This sign is called. So look at the person. He is voluntarily standing with his hands held in an abnormal posture. Look at his legs as well. Now this is a patient who looks like, most likely, to be in a state of catatonia. Now catatonia is a syndrome of psychomotor disturbance. A syndrome of psychomotor disturbance. And there are various signs seen in catatonia. One is posturing. Posturing is the person voluntarily gets himself in an abnormal posture. Gets himself in abnormal posture. Though the answer for this question is posturing. But let us look at other options. Okay. Now what is rigidity? The body appears to be very rigid. Okay. Rigidity we cannot just determine on the basis of a photograph. We need to go and actually examine it. Then what is catalepsy? Catalepsy is when the examiner induces a patient into an abnormal posture held against the gravity. That becomes catalepsy. Okay. For example, if I am the examiner, I am examining a patient's hand of catatonia and I put his hand in this kind of an abnormal posture. Now the patient will keep his hand like this for a very, very long time until I ask him or until I bring it down myself. Okay, that is catalepsy. So catalepsy is passive, posturing is active. Active means a person is doing on his own. Passive means an examiner is inducing it. Cataplexy, it is nowhere related to catatonia. It is just used here to confuse you. Cataplexy is seen in narcolepsy, wherein there is loss of muscle tone. There is loss of muscle tone in response to any emotional stimuli. Or for example, if the person is talking and suddenly the person goes into a state of atonia and he falls, there's loss of muscle tone. Or when the person is laughing, he falls into a state of atonia. This is known as cataplexy.